If you've been wondering how your MEAs do looks like this, and this, you're at the right place, because today I'm going to be showing you how to achieve soft glam eyeshadow looks like this. Let's get right into it. So for soft glam eyeshadow looks like this, you need to use neutral colors to achieve them. Colors in the range of browns, so light browns, dark browns, nudes, colors like that are what you need to achieve looks like this. So I'm going to be starting off with my base. I'm going to be using a concealer to do my base. This is the Born This Way concealer in Mocha. You can either use a primer or a concealer, just something to set off the look. I'm just going to apply my concealer. Then you go in with a blending brush like this, and just from the edges, you're just gonna blend that out. Just dab it in, dab it into your eyelid, dab into your eyelid, dab into your eyelid. Yeah, that is all blended out. We're going to be setting this. Now I'm going to be showing you the kind of brushes you'll be needing for this look. You need a blending brush, a fluffy blending brush. So this is a fluffy blending brush. It should look something like this. So this is the bigger one, this is the smaller one. So I'm going to be using two of them. And then there's another blending brush. This is very tiny, just to get into the details of the eye look. And this is a flat blending brush for your eyelid. Now I'm going to start off with a transition color. I'm using the Paula Beauty eyeshadow palette, using this shade is kind of orangey. Starting off with the smaller blending brush. So what you want to do is you want to start from the outer corner of your eyes, tap most of the product to the outer corner before you blend it in. So that's practically what I'll be doing throughout. So when I'm blending, I'll just tap most of the product here, blend it outward, right, and then blend the rest in. I'm trying to transition the shades. More products at the outer corner of your eye. Blend that out and then go in. So you're going to do this about 4 to 5 times until you are satisfied with the intensity. So I don't want this one to be so intense. Careful not to blend into your brow bone. So you're blending like this, then you're blending this out. I'm just going to stop here. Next shade I'm going to be going in with will be a brown shade. This is from Juvia's. This is a bronzer palette from Juvia's Place. This is the shade I'll be going in with now. Tap in with the same brush, same method. Tap most of the product to the outer corner, drag that out, and then bring the rest in. Just make sure you maintain it on the same place. That's your crease. So you want to maintain that here. Drag this out. So most of the products will end up staying here on the outer corner of your eye, which will give your eye more depth. So I'm just going to keep doing this as many times as possible till I get my desired outcome. So I think I've done this up to like 7 times already now. It just depends on what you like and what you want. If you want it really light, you can just reduce the amount of times you intensify. But if you really want your eyeshadow to be intense, you can pack on as much as you want till you are satisfied. So I'm just going to keep doing this until, yeah, I think it's enough. So now I just use the brown shade to transition on top of the orange that I did. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the darker shade in the Juvia's Place palette. I'm just going to pile it on top of what I already did. Just tap on here, blend it in, drag that out. You can decide to stop at the second step I did, but I just like my eyeshadow to have depth. So if you want your eyeshadow to have depth, you have to apply the rules of layering and giving dimension to your makeup. So I'm just going to try this. It just kind of makes the eyeshadow look rich. That's why I'm doing this. It makes the eyeshadow look rich and it gives it dimension. Let's drag it out. Put it in. I'm going to go in with my smaller brush. This is a Rubabeauty eyeshadow palette. Tap into this brown. So this brown, the brown here is darker than the last one I just used. So I'll just tap a bit. I'm not going to be using much of this. I'll just at the outer corner here, just to give it that wings, and then bring it in. Yeah. So So I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to maintain this dark shade just on the outer part. I'm not taking it in. Going back to the brush I used initially to blend this whole color, just take that out and just blend it together with what I just did. Blend in just to diffuse out those edges. Then I'll go in with the bigger blending brush. This is a clear blending brush. No product is on it. I'll just use that to blend out the edges. Just to blend out the edges. Just to diffuse it. Now that it's looking good, I'll go back in with my concealer and I'll just apply that. I'll just maintain that on my eyelid here to this point. So I'll just tap it. I'm not extending it into my crease. I'm just maintaining it here. And then I'm stopping somewhere around here. That's the 3/4 of my eye. I'm not going to extend that in. Now I'm just going to blend it. Just tap on it. I don't want the edges looking sharp like this. I'm gonna blend that out from the edges. See that I'm blending it from the edges. I'm not totally taking it in. I'm just trying to take away those harsh lines. Then I'm going to go in and then smoothing it out. Smoothing out the concealer edges. Then immediately before your concealer creases, I'm just going in with my flat blending brush. And this is another shade. This is the shade I'm going in with. And I'll just dab on it. So I'm not dragging this time, just like I did when I was blending. I'm not dragging. I'm just tapping on it. So you want to tap. So if you want it more intense, you just layer on product on top of it so it would come out more. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to just layer on more products to make it pop. So I'm just maintaining that on my eyelid. I'm not taking it upward into my crease. How I do this is I'll just tap on more products to the middle here, and then the leftover I'll just kind of take it up. Take it up to the corners. That's what I do. Now what I'm going to do is go in with the brush, the initial brush. This is the smaller one, the first one I use, to just take out these edges to make it look neater. So I'm just going to go back in and just blend this just like, and then I'll go in with the brown with my small blending brush. So I use this when I need to get into some corners. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to blend this darker shade here with this lighter shade. So I'm using a shade in between. So this is the brown shade, the very brown shade I used in the beginning. So I'm trying to use a shade in between both of them to kind of make it sink. So that's what I'm doing. I'll just apply it here at the corner. I'm just using this to blend them together, so it's much more seamless that way. So I'll just keep this here, go back in with this, and I'll just diffuse out any lines. Just diffuse out any lines, just like this. Now this is the basics of a soft glam eyeshadow look, but if you want to take it up a notch, I'll then apply liner and make everything come together. So I'm going to show you how I do my liner, but this is basically the basics for the eyeshadow. So for my liner, I'm going to be using Merak eyeliner. It's a Nigerian brand, so I'll just give my eyes a good line. So once I've drawn the liner, I'll just go in with the same brown shade from my bronzer palette and a flat brush like this. I'll just blend the liner out using this. So it just gives it a good gradient. I'm just gonna do this. Let's blend this out. Now that I've blended it, I will then use a concealer and clean that up. Just clean that up. And this is what you should have when you're done with makeup. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.